why you've decided to take this fight?
It's a challenge. I love challenges. And I challenged myself to come over, defend my title against Eubank, but fight night, you'll see.
What are we going to see?
War. And I ain't walking away with my belt's not staying here. So.
Well, what I saw when we were taking pictures is that you gave your belt to me and let me touch it. In my mind, you've lost the fight already. If it was my belt, you would never touch it. I don't care what the camera.
I'll give you a feel of it.
Yeah, well, still, that's a symbol.
It's gonna be the last time you're gonna touch it.
That's a symbol of your achievement. You should let me.
It'll be the last time you touch it. So.
Well, we'll find out.
Why do you think he shouldn't let you touch it? What's it a sign of in your view?
This is a world title belt that he worked so hard to get. You don't let your opponent touch it because the cameraman says, "Can you guys take a picture with it?" Say, "No, this is my belt. This is my belt." That's in my opinion. He pushed the belt towards me too quickly. He did what he was told. If it's my belt, it's staying with me the whole time.
What did you think of his win over Daniel Gill?
He knocked him out, so it was a good win. Daniel Gill is a former world champion. So full respect to that. And, you know, I do respect the fact that this man's come over here from Australia. He's come over to a foreign territory, doesn't know anybody, he hasn't got any fans over here. And he's challenging, you know, one of the most exciting fighters in the world. He didn't have to do that. He could have taken easier routes, he could have stayed in his part of the world and took easier fights. So in that respect, I have respect for him, but that's where the respect starts and finishes. On the night, as they say in the military, I'm going to proceed with extreme prejudice. And that belt is, well, enjoy it for the next 8 days, because after that, it's coming back to England.
Did you take the fight as well because you want to make your name better known across the world? I mean, you're big news down under, but did you take the fight as well because this is an opportunity for the rest of the boxing world to hear about you?
It is an opportunity, but like I said, it's a challenge for me. I challenge myself.
It's not just a challenge.
So
you're running up a mountain with this one, man.
The mountain is easy for me to run up. I'll sprint up it.
Okay.
Fight night, you're going to see. That's all I can say.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little about your background, Renold.
My background, my dad's Aboriginal, my mum's Fijian. I grew up, never had my father and mother raise me. I grew up hard, but that's the past. I don't dwell on the past. I changed my lifestyle around with my boxing career, for my family. And I took it on a whole nother level, growing up back home. Get caught up in the wrong crew. And like I said, the boxing is what disciplined me and changed my life. Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, you hear that story a bit, but you're saying that in your case, that's the classic true story of what boxing did for your life.
That is a classic true story. And I guess a lot of great boxers have got a story behind them, past and growing up. So I think Christine would know that, and a lot of people would know that too.
And your Aboriginal roots are very important to you, aren't they?
Yes, they are. My Aboriginal roots are very important to me.
What do they bring to your life particularly? Is it a way that you like to lead your life by?
Well, it's something different about my Aboriginal roots. The past is the past, but I love the culture, my culture on both sides, on my mum's side Fijian and on my dad's side. So to me, they're both equal. They're both the same.
And when you have a look at the bookmakers, and they have Chris at sort of, some of them have them at 250 to 1 on to win. I mean, in other words, as far as the bookmakers are concerned, it is no contest. Do you find that a bit insulting?
I don't take notice of it. It's if they want to lose their money, go ahead. But put the odds on me. What am I paying? I don't know what I'm paying. So.
Is that about right in your point of view? Are you that odds on that it's not worth having a bet?
I'm not a betting man. I don't gamble. You know, I believe in working hard and earning your keep, not hoping something happens and throwing money on it. But You know, this is, I've been working for this my entire life, my entire career, to get to this stage, to fight for a world title, and to do it on ITV. It's a privilege. It's a huge opportunity. The reach that you guys have is it's unparalleled. So, you know, I believe it's going to be a hell of a fight.
And to follow in Dad's footsteps. I mean, that must mean, you know, obviously we talked to him a lot about his role in your life and your career, but to follow in his footsteps, how much would that mean?
To follow in his footsteps, to follow in all the greats. You know, this is what a fighter wants to achieve in his career. To be able to say, yeah, I did it. To have a legacy, to have kids coming up and looking up and saying, I want to be like that guy. And this is the ticket. This is the ticket. Having that belt puts me in a position to then go and clean up these divisions, middleweight, super middleweight. There's a lot of great fights to be had out there. And just because I'm fighting for the super middleweight title doesn't mean that I'm forever going to be restricted to the super middleweight division, because obviously there are super fights there to be made in the middleweight division.
Is Golovkin the one that you really want? You've talked about that before.
I don't know how many more times I got to say it, you know. I know I can beat the guy. I know I can beat him. Great power. That's what that man brings to the table. But you know, I've sparred with heavyweights. I've taken beatings throughout my entire career from massive guys who Golovkin could never punch harder than. So the fact that he can punch doesn't affect me. It doesn't scare me. And once you look past that, what could he beat me with? He's not faster than me. His defense isn't better than mine. You know, this is a man who openly says he likes getting hit. He likes, you know, he's not hard to hit. You know, in my opinion, boxing is about being hit and not getting hit. That's my philosophy. He obviously doesn't share that. So a huge fight to be made in the future. And obviously we've got my old arch nemesis, Billy Joe Saunders, at middleweight. That's another fight that I want and will not stop until I get.
Is that an itch that you can't help scratching?
That's exactly what it is. It's you know, it's a wrong that I have to get right. You know, and it's always hard when, especially when you have a loss and you don't feel like you really lost the fight. You know that you're the better fighter. So that's a fight that has to be made at middleweight at some point. And now that we've got this platform here in ITV, there's no reason why these fights can't be made this year.
www.itvboxoffice.co.uk. Go there now and register for the fight a week tomorrow. So what are you going to bring to the ring then in Olympia? What's your style? What are people going to see?
Fireworks. They're going to see fireworks. And I guess everyone just get there and be there early and see for themselves. I don't talk myself up, but I let my fist do the talking. Me and Eubank's two different people. So Feb 4th, be there. Watch, register.
So you're going to take a step back, you meet fire with fire, you're on the front foot.
If you want to play with fire, you can play with fire. So I think that's what it'll be.
But you do know that it's going to take more than just fireworks and sparklers to beat me, right?
Maybe I'll chuck petrol on it, so that makes it even bigger. You never know what can happen, man.
You need an army. You're going to need your whole Aboriginal tribe to come over here to beat me.
And that's how you beat Daniel Gill, didn't you? I mean, you beat him in the second round. It was so
a lot of people told me against Gill, shouldn't take the fight. When you're mentally focused and ready, and you got to believe in yourself, nothing will stop you. No one. Coming into 12 fights, professional fights, I don't think Eubank would have. I don't think his dad would have took the fight if he was only had his 12 professional fight. He's been in his dad's shadow for his whole career, living off his dad's name. He has to be himself. It's either he's better than his father, or he's not better than his father. I think his dad was the best back in the day. I think he'd be better than him. Whether he says that his son's better than him, I don't think so. Fight night comes, you'll see, and Chris will see too.
See, I hear that comment a lot.
I'm sure you do, yeah.
Living off your father's name, you know. You're only boxing because your father used to box. And it amazes me when people say that, because it's like, as what's the line in that movie? You got the movie there's Snatch. It doesn't matter if your name is Muhammad Ahmad Bruce Lee. It doesn't matter what your name is. If you can't fight, you can't fight. You can't do the things that I've done in my career. A name can only get you so far. Eventually, if you don't have the spice, if you don't have the sauce, you're going to get found out.
But when you hear people say it, whether it's an opponent or whether it's a punter or a journalist or the media or whatever, do you think I'm going to show them that I am equally as good as him, if not better?
I'm not. My mission isn't to worry about what my father did and to always compare myself to him. My goal is to be the best fighter I can be, to build my own legacy, be my own man, and to win my own world titles. The comparing and his father did that, and I leave that to fans and to people like him who believe that I'm only in the game because of my father. For me, this world title that I'm going to win in 8 days, that's the start of a long and fruitful journey. I'm going to be in the game for at least another 10 years, and my goal is to take all the titles, to take all the belts in the middleweight and the super middleweight division. And here we begin on February 4th. How
big a fight is this in Australia? Because you're a big name there, but you want to be a bigger name.
This is a big fight for my career and probably for back home. But yeah, it is what it is. To come all the way in for Chris, he's got a big name in the UK and around the world. But Feb 4th, just can't wait.
Yeah, because you mentioned his dad. So growing up, you would have known the stories of Chris and Nigel Benn and the middleweight and super middleweight division of those days.
Yeah, watched a bit of them. It's a good laugh. But yeah.
Like a good laugh? What do you mean by that?
Like it's a good laugh, like just the way they are to each other.
There was nothing funny about their rivalries.
Well,
that was
to me it was.
Some of the most vicious fights in boxing history. If you find that funny, then you're not really a true fighter.
To me, like I said, we're both different. We're both different.
Well, if you find that type of thing funny, then you're gonna find February 4th hilarious, because you're gonna get exactly the same.
It's gonna be hilarious. A lot of people laugh now, but
it's gonna be hilarious for you.
Have you got a game plan?
No, I don't have a game plan.
Chris told us what Chris Jr.'s weakness might be. Keeps his hands a bit low. Have you got a game plan?
No, not really. I don't have a game plan. I just adapt to what's in front of me.
Okay.
It's natural talent.
So you've flown all the way over here from Australia with no plan at all. You're just going to get in there and wing it? Is that what you're telling everybody?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling everyone.
Wow, you're in some serious trouble, my friend. Really.
I tell you what, we've got a couple of minutes left. Why don't you get the belt? So everybody's watching this on YouTube can see you with the belt and can see what it is that Chris wants to take off you. You going to let him touch it this time?
I'll let him touch it.
There you go, Chris.
I'm going to do you a favour, and I'm going to keep my hands off it until after the fight.
Okay. Sure, this is the last time you're going to
Once
touch it, man.
Once I
it's a boomerang, so it comes back.
Then I'll take it.
It's a boomerang, so it comes back.
We'll see.
So this is it.
We talked about game plans. You back your natural talent every time, but do you have a game plan as such?
I'm searching and destroying. I'm going to go in there, and the ring is my kitchen, and you're getting cooked. Seasoned, cooked, fried, sautéed, all of that.
You mightn't have the right ingredients, man.
I do.
I think you got the right ingredients. I think you got the right ingredients, Ralph.
I really do.
Okay. Boys, you just want to stand up so everyone at home can see you. I'll get to one side.
Just quickly, on those odds, 250 to 1, where do we get that?
We'll tell you afterwards about that. Look down the camera there. Everyone can see you watching here live from YouTube space. So a week tomorrow then, these two gents, Chris Eubank Jr. and Renold Quinlan, go to itvboxoffice.co.uk. You can register now. And on the undercard, David Price was with us last week in Preston. He's fighting Christian Hammer, of course, at heavyweight. Kid Galahad's back in the ring as well. And Adam Etches also fighting. So that's a week tomorrow. Register now at www.itvboxoffice.co.uk. Thank you very much indeed.
It is the most important fight of my career. The training speaks for itself. I'm preparing for war.
He's the most exciting fighter in the world, and we're back home on ITV.